All right, welcome back into another episode of To The Show Baseball Podcast presented by ProspectsLive.com. I am your host, Andrew Parker, and today's episode, I had the reigning South Atlantic League Player of the Week on. I had Jake Bimbi of the Pittsburgh Pirates organization. He had a career best outing that earned him that South Atlantic League Player of the Week. So we do kind of dive into that. He missed all 2025 with an injury, so we do kind of talk about, already being at the career innings pitch limit for him, and just kind of talking about being back and just being back on the mound, going from bullpen to starter, just everything. We do kind of dive into all that. But before I shoot the interview, if you're watching me on YouTube right now, listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever it is you get your podcast, please like and subscribe. Making a big push for 600 subs on the YouTube channel. It's a little newer there, so anything helps. But without further ado, let me shoot you on to the interview with Jake Bimbi. All right, Jake, you are fresh off being named the South Atlantic League Player of the Week for your performance last week in Greensboro. That's where I want to start. I had your best career outing, I might say, in pro ball. So how are things going for you after that week?
First off, I want to say thank you. And things are going pretty well. Got moved to a starter role pretty recently with some unfortunate injuries, call-ups, trades with this trade deadline happening. Just kind of had open role as starter, so kind of got pushed into it and just kind of ran with it. Was feeling really good, especially Winston-Salem. We play them a decent bit, so going into last week just kind of felt pretty confident in the guys that I was facing, the guys that I had behind me. So I knew just kind of coming into it a little bit more familiar with them, so I can kind of game plan a little bit better to what they haven't liked from me so far and what I've seen from them that I can kind of exploit a little bit. And things were rolling good. Just tried to get the ball in the strike zone early, let the defense play, and was working pretty well.
Yeah, you mentioned obviously going from being in the bullpen all year long to now being a starter, and obviously having an outing like you did. It looks like you're kind of transitioning pretty well back into the starting role. I know you did it at Western Kentucky. Obviously your final year in college, but how comfortable are you feeling back in that role? I know that's not an easy adjustment per se, but I guess in terms of just how you're feeling off the field, how are things going in that department?
Things are growing really well. At the beginning of the season, I felt kind of comfortable getting put into that bullpen role. It hadn't been a role that I had ever truly been in before. So just kind of ran with it, got punched a little bit, but punched back, got a couple saves on the year, which is pretty fun. Those are some neat experiences. But moving to a starter role, just kind of trying not to take too much into it, trying to not be like, hey, I need to get a certain amount of innings as a starter, just going out there being like, man, I can do this. I can fill up the zone. I can do exactly what I did out of the bullpen. So just trying to take the bullpen mentality into being a starter and kind of helped last week. So going to be doing it here tomorrow.
You brought up the innings aspect, and that's something I did want to ask because I don't know if you might be familiar with this already, but you're at a career high in innings pitched. I mean, I know obviously you didn't pitch last year, but even dating back to college, you're at you're over your career innings pitched that you've been at. So, in terms of workload and trying to finish the season strong, are you doing anything differently to kind of I guess not battle it, but just kind of be like, hey, I'm in uncharted territory here with the innings pitched?
Yeah, I'm not trying to do too much different. I mean, so far this season, I've been doing everything that I've needed to be doing, and it's been working. So I'm not trying to add in too much too crazy or go to the training room extra to get some work on it. Because, I mean, my body's feeling pretty good right now. Lord's willing to make sure that my shoulder, elbow, and knee are healthy. So just trying to take it each day. If I need a little bit of extra treatment, I'll go do it. But if not, just making sure that I get my proper warm-up every day because, I mean, I'm still young and everything. So this is going to sound weird, but I'm getting older. I got to stretch. It's not like I'm in college anymore. I can just grab a baseball and start ripping it. I can't really do that anymore. I got to make sure I get some bands in there, some plyo throws, make sure everything's working the right direction. So when catch play comes, everything's smooth sailing.
you just wait until you hit the age of 30, then things even go further downhill. You got to stretch before everything, man. It's you're gonna be pulling something.
Yeah, don't worry. I've already planned for some stretching when I get out of bed here soon.
Okay, yeah, good man. You're already prepared. But something that you did kind of mention in terms of, I guess, just obviously, like you're now in the starter role. You're hitting.
Mhm.
You didn't pitch at all last year, so you're coming off of a year where you didn't get to be out on the mound. You were just rehabbing the whole time. Like, has
Mhm.
it been like? Are you feeling like I know you're not like doing anything extra, but like is it catching up to you? You feeling a little sore? Like I guess like how does your body feel this late to the season after not throwing it all in 2025?
Yeah, I'd definitely say that I've had some like ebbs and flows for sure. There's been like a couple weeks where I just haven't felt exactly 100%. But it's nothing like that's raised a flag or anything like that, or where like, hey, I need to pull back. It's just kind of been like, hey, I could tell I'm a little bit more sore this week. So just kind of like manage myself in the weight room a little bit better. Those are the weeks where I'll try to get like a little bit of extra treatment. But like I said, nothing too crazy. Um, just trying to make sure that I stay healthy. The best ability is availability, and that's what I've been trying this year. So when the body is not feeling as good, I try to make sure that that's a little bit of a lower intent day, unless it needs to be. If it's like a day where I'm in game, hey, we just gotta go do it and make sure that we do the best job for the team because I know I can. But I mean that hasn't really happened this year where those days have lined up. So I've been pretty fortunate to have the days where haven't felt as good fall on some off days.
Yeah, and I guess this something I'm curious about, just from your perspective's a little unique now after
Hmm.
like missing the whole last season. Like, did did it like give you any sense of like appreciation for like being healthy and just being available to the team? Like, I guess what does that do for a
Yeah,
guy like after not being able to throw all last year and then coming back? Like, do you kind of feel a little different back on the mound?
it's just honestly great to be back out there. The first time back on the mound since 2024 was actually a big league spring training backup. Unfortunately, I let up a 3-run homer. But hey, I can't complain because first time on the mound in a year and a half was in a big league backup. So just the ability to be out there and just throw every single day is a blessing. I played so many hours of MLB The Show last year. I got my real 99. So Jacob Bimbi had a lot of innings on the mound, just not physically. A lot of virtual innings trying to just game plan. Because if I could strike out Aaron Judge, I can get out anybody in this league. So,
Did they treat you okay on the real 99? I know some guys might feel a little disrespected, but how was yours?
I'll say mine last year was really, really good. This year, I gave myself my same pitch mix. So I would say that I'm really good, especially because there's not a whole lot of left-handed relievers early
Ooh,
on in
okay.
MLB The Show that are good. You only got like your Adrian Morejones, your
Yeah.
Josh Hader, and then it's like that's it. So I'm like, hey, I could pull out a 99 Jake Bimby, and people aren't gonna like that because he's got 5 pitches from the left side. I wish that they gave me a bit more stamina, but the card itself plays about just like Jake Bimby.
Okay. They're gonna have to add to the stamina now that you're back into that starters role. I'm gonna have to ask maybe next year's card we start getting that up.
That's what I'm saying. I might need to be a starter again because it's a little bit more fun to do that in MLB The Show rather than just bringing yourself in for a close. It's more fun to go 6 innings, even in
Yeah. Yeah.
Coors, because that's where
Okay.
everybody picks.
I'm with you. I agree completely. But I'm glad they did you okay. I'm glad that because I've talked to some guys where they're like, yeah, I got one. It's just like they got me throwing like 93, 94, and it's like they're throwing 98 in real life, and it's like it's kind of unfortunate. So I
Yeah, I
feel
got
for
some
them.
teammates like that here too.
Okay. It sounds like I don't know if this is like it sounds like last year you obviously like you said you had played a lot of the show, and I'm sure maybe the things you were
Mhm.
doing off the field were a little different just because of the injury and things like that. But in terms of
Yeah.
like in your free time, like what else are you how are you using your free time, I guess this year now that you're back?
Yeah, a lot of it is just like managing my day. So a lot of times we like to play golf. Got a bunch of golfers on the team, so that I know Connor might have talked about that on his off days
Oh
a
yeah.
little bit when you talk to him. But love to play golf. Been trying to get some new clubs here or there. So finally got a new driver, can hit it straight. So that's going to really save the score a little bit. But then just going out, we like to find some coffee shops around Greensboro. So found some pretty good ones, and still like to play video games. We got a bunch of guys playing like FIFA, Rocket League, playing MLB The Show still. So just whatever we could get our hands on, stay together, stay connected.
Okay. Yeah, that's I'm also trying to become a better golfer as every other person in America, but I
Of
am
course.
I always know this. Like this is something that I've always known. It's like you don't have to have $1,000 set of clubs to be good. And I hear all of it all the time. And I was using like some older
Mm-hmm.
clubs that I got off of like a pre-used like club website. But I did just
Mm-hmm.
upgrade my driver, and I'm telling you what, it made a world of difference. So like, I don't know if you're having the same experience now, but like, I'm actually hitting them straight. I don't have my slice anymore. And I'm like, maybe the new clubs is kind of like a little cheat code.
That's what I was saying earlier this year. It was me and Cameron Keyshock were out on the course, and I wasn't hitting my driver good. And he was like, "You should just get a new one." And I was like, "If I pitch good this weekend, I'll get a new one." And I ended up throwing pretty well that week in Brooklyn. And he was like, "You got to buy a new driver." So I went out, bought a new driver, and unfortunately, I could feel every single dollar of this new driver. But
Yes.
fortunately, I could feel every single dollar of this new driver, and we're hitting it far, we're hitting it straight. And we've shaved about 5 strokes off the score. So we don't have to
Yeah.
hit 5 iron off the tee anymore.
I'm telling you, man, I've been in the same boat. It's like it's crazy. It's just I was using a driver. It was like an old TaylorMade driver. It was from like probably 2010, maybe. Like I mean, it was one of their older
Yep.
versions, and I just got it for real cheap when I first started golfing a few years back. And I was like, I'm not gonna spend that much money on it. Like I just don't care. But I upgraded to a new sim, and it's
Yep.
dude, it's night and day,
That's
man,
what I
night and day.
upgraded to. I had
Love it,
a
man.
I had a Ripa, and I switched to a Sim 2. So
Okay.
I'm glad that I don't got
It's
the Ripa anymore.
it
It's a
just makes
trunk
that like
item now.
sound off of like the club, and it's just like I don't know. It's like a top five feeling.
Crisp.
It's great. But yeah, that was talking golf clubs. I appreciate that because I definitely relate to that. But
Oh yeah.
I don't know if well actually I do want to ask just a couple more on the field questions before I have some off the field things to
Yeah.
continue that. But
Let's hear it.
just in terms of you, like being your first full year back, and
Mhm.
I'm curious if anything switched or maybe changed on you as a pitcher, like if your pitch mix changed coming into this year, if you're like your velo ticked back up. Like I'm curious like what you're looking like now after missing the year and just like being into August. Like how are you, I guess, different than where you were before?
Yeah. I would definitely say that my pitch mix has changed. Coming into last year, I was a little bit more fastball heavy. We were looking at some of my video, and I was a little bit just inconsistent with some of my off speed pitches. So we wanted to just try to hone in on some of the strengths to start. And coming into this year, after the injury, they kind of allowed me to go full go again and said, "Hey, just do what you can. Let's see what we're working with." Like, not really sure like what the role is going to be, obviously, but we're going to get innings for you and figure it out. So from there, I've just been kind of tinkering throughout the year. Changeup has always been a really good pitch for me, and since they've kind of allowed me to tinker with my arsenal again, I've been like, hey, I want to throw that more and more. So I've been talking with the catchers, trying to make that a little bit more of a main pitch. And I think that this year, my cutter and slider have really just taken like that next notch up. Cutter has been a really good pitch that I've used to righties, and slider has been good against lefties and righties. So I think this year compared to years in the past has just been difference in my arsenal and how I could use it. Um, Velocity has stayed about the same. As a reliever, is a little bit more up. I believe my last outing as a reliever, I was like 94, 96, whereas this last start I was like 93, 94. So holding a little bit lower as a starter, but trying to tick that up. I know it's still in me because obviously if you throw 96, you can throw 96. So
Yeah.
it'll be in there, and I can do it. Just trying to continue to work through it. Obviously, a couple first starts, it was a little bit lower, taken up here. So hopefully tomorrow we got some more up, but I don't even need to worry about that. We just got to get some strikes in zone, get some early ground balls, fly balls, and let our offense work because this Greensboro offense is good.
It is, and I believe it's been good most of the season as well. Even with losing some guys getting promoted, but in terms of, I guess just we're in. I guess we're towards late August now. It's kind of crazy to say that, but the your season is coming down to just a few weeks now. You got less than a month left of your season, so going into the off season, like, do you have any like main goals you're looking at? Like, knock on wood, it's like you're gonna be healthy going into the off season, so it's gonna be a little more normal than previous. So, what big goals do you have in mind for this off season?
My main goals for this offseason are going to be to just gain a little bit of weight. Throughout the season, I've lost a couple pounds. I knew I was going to. It's nothing too crazy, but I just kind of like to be a little bit heavier at the start of the season because once I hit the summer and I start sweating, summer heat's going to get to me, and I know I lose a little bit of pounds. So just trying to gain some weight if I can, definitely some muscle and strength. Just try to keep the lower half and everything in line. And then from there, just want to continue to simplify the mechanics, continue to knock down my feels to make sure that when I throw 2 balls in a row, I can get back in the strike zone and we're not letting any mistakes compound, go from batter to batter, pitch to pitch. We're able to hit the nail right on the head, like right away, and just kind of move to the next pitch.
Are you going to be spinning that back in Chicago? Is that well? I say Chicago. I know people get upset when I say Chicago, and it's really the suburbs. I totally understand that. But is that where you spend your?
I'm not one of those guys.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll be up there for the off season. I've got some guys that I'm gonna train with. They're a little bit further away, so I'm gonna be making like some trips to, I believe it's the Rosemont Dome out there. So make a couple trips, and then I got a local facility that I do most of my training at in the off season.
Okay. This is I preluded to this question before we started recording, but I didn't give it away, so it's going to be fresh here. But you're not close to home right now, and I know that I'm a big food guy, and I appreciate trying new foods in new places I go to. Chicago is one of those places that I completely enjoy the food scene there. So I want to ask you, with you not being close to home right now, is there anywhere that you have in mind that you're like, when I get back home, I'm going here first? Like, is there anywhere like that for you?
My favorite pizza spot, like in Chicago, is Luminati's. Their crust for the thin crust, it's like a butter croissant crust, so it's a little bit thicker, but flakes off like a croissant. Oh, it's like, just thinking about it right now, it's got my mouth watering.
So that's your first stop.
That's first stop. I got to get some Luminati's. And then we have a local Mexican restaurant. I'm blanking on the name right now off the top of my head. Oh, it's called Casa Chapala. On Tuesdays, they have 99-cent street tacos. So you get corn tortilla with steak, cilantro, lime, onion, and the green sauce.
Oh, man.
Just get a bunch of those, get back, watch that Tuesday night football game or whatever you got going on.
Was it Maction?
Yeah. Yeah, it was the Maction. Sometimes WKU would play at the same time. So occasionally I'd be watching a WKU game, but I think they now have Thursday night deals.
Okay.
So they play Thursday at 6 o'clock sometimes, if you ever wanted to watch the Hilltoppers play.
Hey, us New Englanders are very appreciative of WKU after the Bailey Zappi era that happened up there. That kind of
Hmm.
opened our eyes to WKU a little bit. So he was
I
elite in
was gonna say
college.
Bailey's not a bad quarterback, and he's helped you guys get Drake May
There you go. I like the way good spin zone
in
on
some
that. I
aspect.
appreciated that.
He's got
Yeah,
you
I
guys
like
Drake
that.
May.
Okay. I can live with that. That's I will thank you for to Bailey Zappi for his contributions. I do appreciate that one. So I was gonna say we talked about Connor Oliver previously. He gave me a
Mhm.
pizza spot in the Chicagoland area that was not Lou Malnati's.
Okay,
It was actually Pequod's. Um, it's on my
Pequod's.
bucket list
Okay,
to try. Is it any good? Have you ever been?
yeah.
Ever heard of it?
So I've heard of it. I've never been. I do hear that it's one of the top ones in Chicago itself. So my hometown's a little bit outside of Chicago, so there isn't a Pequod's as close to me.
Okay.
Connor's a little bit closer to it, but I've heard that like Pequod's is great, and then like Geno's East, if you're like in Chicago itself, is another like solid spot. But Pequod's, heard of it, really good. Never been.
Okay, had to ask. It's on the list when I get up to Chicago at some point to go try it, just because of Connor. So
Hmm.
I'm definitely going to report back to him to see what that is at some point this year. So
Yeah.
something I got a couple questions left here before I let you slide. Something that
Okay.
I always like doing before I talk to guys for the first time on here. I always like kind of scouting the college player pages. I know that like sometimes like
Hmm.
on the little bios it says stuff down below, and I understand that sometimes it's like ooh like I just kind of put that so I didn't sound like as weird or whatever of what I'm actually into.
Yep.
But something intrigued me on yours that you put on your WKU one, or maybe it was the Tennessee one. I don't remember which one, but
Okay.
obviously you wanted to play professionally after college, which you're
Right.
doing. And then it said when your playing career is over and you retire, you want to go into sports broadcasting or coaching. Is that still the plan?
Yes. So tentatively, yes. I went into my freshman year at Wabash Valley into the sports broadcasting program. They actually have a really good like broadcasting department there. Um, and when I transferred to Tennessee out of my JUCO, they needed internships and stuff like that. So it would have been pretty hard to continue in the sports broadcasting realm. So unfortunately, I had to pivot. I have a degree in communications instead. But it would be something that I'd like to do. I know Tom Brady is going to be a sport or is a sports broadcaster without having a
Getting
degree
paid
in
a
it. So
lot.
I know it's possible. Exactly. And so I know it's possible to do. So that wouldn't be a bad option. And then to be a college coach, I heard, I don't know if this is true or not. So correct me if I'm wrong, you know, but I heard that you just needed a 4-year degree.
Yeah.
Doesn't really matter what
Yeah.
it is, but that is kind of a stipulation. Um, so it would allow me to still be a coach. And if not, I could always take the Alex Moran route from Blue Mountain State and be a gym teacher back home. My gym teacher at my local high school got paid the most because they were based off tenure. So
I love that reference, by the way. I'm a big fan. That's like my gosh, that's a blast from the past there, man. That was one of my favorite shows of all time growing up. So
it's a great
uh
show.
little ahead of its time, by the way, when that came out. Like I feel like that should have been coming out
I
like
would
around
say
this
there's
time, but
that it was a little progressive for sure.
oh yeah, it was solid. It was good entertainment, but definitely a good
Oh
one.
yeah.
But yeah, I was gonna say I do co-host this show over the off season with a guy that is in pro ball, Josh Lester, and he has been talking
Okay.
about trying to get into coaching after this, and he ended up getting drafted after his third year at Mizzou, and he did not complete his degree yet, so he's like trying to go back to school to complete
Mm,
it so he can become a coach. So I think you're pretty spot on with that 4-year degree thing on, you know your stuff, so it's good.
okay.
I did. My last question here.
Yep.
We talked about it earlier. We got like 3 weeks left. Maybe how many starts you got left? Maybe 3-ish, 4 maybe. I'm not sure.
I was gonna say, I think 3 with postseason. Hopefully, as long as we make it, I'll get a 4th, I believe.
Okay, so do you have any goals that you want to hit in those 3-ish starts for the rest of the year? Like, is there anything you're wanting to accomplish by the end of season that you that are attainable?
I mean, the funny answer would be I'd like to win Player of the Week a couple more times.
There it is.
That'd be pretty fun. But no, I just want to continue to build on some successes. So even if the start, obviously, like being Player of the Week is really great honor, but it's pretty tough to do multiple times. You're not seeing a whole lot of people doing it. So I just want to build off some successes, build off some feels from last week. I know not every single week is going to be special in every sense, but just trying to take something special out of each week and just keep getting better. So by the time that I get to next year, next spring training, I'm able to put myself in the best position to help out. I know that there's some CBA stuff going on with everybody, but just to be able to help out at whatever level I can next year and make the championship for whatever team.
Yeah, we're gonna, the CBA is obviously interesting. I'm just trying not to think about it because it's just, it's a headache. So,
I know the minor
especially,
leagues and the major leagues are different. So the minor leagues are going to be playing next year. So I know that no matter what, I'm probably in a pretty safe spot to be playing some ball to start the year pretty soon. So just want to make sure that I'm as ready as I can be for that.
Yeah, as non-40-man guys aren't going to be affected by it, so at least you'll get to be out there. But all right, Jake, I appreciate you a ton. Obviously, wishing you the best of luck here as we wrap up 26 and into the offseason. But thank you again for doing this.
Yeah, no, my pleasure, Andrew. I appreciate you having me on here.